At Pro Business Solutions, we help our clients through the process of preparing their business plans when seeking financing for their business ideas. We help you to analyze the market, prepare a SWOT analysis, identify business goals, and prepare financial projections. Our consultants are knowledgeable, patient, and confidential. For more information, contact us at 869-663-5005 or send us an email at probusinesssolutionskn@gmail.com to set up an appointment to discuss your business ideas. Pro Business Solutions, your business, our passion. Greeting, folks. Welcome to Season 2 of Carib Gems, where we interview business persons from St. Kitts and Nevis. We have them share their stories with young entrepreneurs. And today we have a very special guest from SKNVIBES and Open Interactive. We have Mr. Stachio Williams. We are shooting out of Pump Bay, Fig Tree Sandy Point, here at the famous Rum Dog Beach Bar and Grill. Welcome, Mr. Williams. Nice having you. Nice having you.
It's a pleasure being here. It's a pleasure being here.
Now,
thank you.
We know the name Stachio Williams, and we've definitely been hearing the name Stachio Williams a lot in recent weeks. But for those who are unfamiliar, could you explain to us your background and growing up in Sandy Point? How was that for you?
Well, I was born in Sandy Point in 1981. And in those times, the community, I remember, was a vibrant, hustling town, you know, where people were together. I was born Station Street.
Okay.
Spent my first few years there. Then I moved on the back way. And growing up with my mother, who was a single mother at the time, had 10 of us.
Okay.
Trying to make ends meet. We had little, but for me it meant a lot. We were happy. And I could remember days here being very happy and being close with my family and being close with my neighbors. Growing up here in Sandy Point has always been something I love because it shaped me to be who I am today.
Okay.
It's been very good.
Nice. So who were some of those neighbors? Any of those neighbors you could remember?
But of course, there's Marlene, who was my neighbor there. There was Simone, children, Daniels, were there as well, you know. And like Timo, his mother.
Okay, nice.
Neighbor just over the wall.
Okay, yes,
right?
yes.
But right in that little neighborhood, there are people like Johnny Blois.
The famous tailor.
Famous tailor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so nice. So where did your love for media and computers come from?
I believe it came from my time in school, where I had a love for mathematics.
Okay.
And then with mathematics and that logical thinking, it led to things like developing algorithms. And when I started doing computer science, computer studies in high school, I took a keen interest in it because it just felt like something I was born to do.
Computer science.
It just felt like something I was born to do.
Okay.
Yeah, and so I really excelled at it. I returned, I believe, at the time, one of the first distinctions for Sandy Point High School. Sandy Point High School.
Nice.
And not just for Sandy Point, but I think in that year it was the only one across the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. So it was the early days of computer science. So from that point, I recognized that I had a knack for it.
Nice.
And I decided to continue my career along that path.
Congratulations. And
which eventually led to my development of a company which is founded on technology and media, built on computer science and technology.
Okay, nice. So rolling into SKNVIBES, how did you come up with that concept? Where did that concept come from? SKNVIBES.
The concept of SKNVIBES is a big idea. Came from a need that I saw. SKNVIBES was founded around 2001, 2002.
Okay.
Some 20 years ago.
Okay.
And if you can go back a bit in our history, realize that at that time, there wasn't really any cell phones.
That's true.
The internet was just coming on stream.
That's true.
And I, at the time, a young boy, 19 years old, used to do some work with a company there who was based in the US but had an offshore operations. And so he learned some early skills in development. And the idea came that it's only a matter of time before technology is caught on and before the need for online platforms are caught on here in SKNVIBES.
So you were ahead of the curve.
And so I saw the opportunity to have what we call in business a first mover advantage.
Okay.
And an advantage in that we would create the platform, social media before there was social media established.
Yes, yes.
And give everyone in the community a way to connect online and access information quite easily.
Okay.
And transact business easily as well.
Okay.
That's where
that came from. Okay.
Came from initially.
Nice. What are some of the challenges that you faced early with setting up SKNVIBES? What are some of the challenges?
Business on a whole, from a startup standpoint, it's never easy. Let's tell you, never easy.
Money.
It requires resources, it requires skills, it requires management.
Yes.
And so as a young boy, 19, like I said, with a few of my colleagues who started out with me, recognizing that we didn't have very much. And all we had was just some talent and skills and an idea.
Nice. Yes.
Getting funding was a challenge because you're talking about something that never existed before. So it's not like the regular construction business or well-established traditional type businesses. This is something in innovation and technology which is fairly new. So that also compounded the challenge because you're not getting funding for it. Right? Persons don't understand what this thing you're trying to do is. You try your best to sell the idea that it's going to be something good for the future, which we can now see today. But the challenge was really early adoption and early funding to get that moving. But we powered through, we remain resilient, and today we have a very good success story.
Nice. So for the young business people who might be looking to go into an internet-based business or online-based business, how were you able to monetize the website? How does one make money from operating a media website?
Media in its traditional sense, generally, you make money from the advertising.
Advertising.
Right? So if you were to transpose that now online, you have online advertising.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So if you were to build a platform, you'd first focus on how do I get to advertise on a platform? And in order to attract ads to your platform, you must have traffic. So the content has to be right. The information has to be tailored just so. And then you have to add a little bit of marketing as well to ensure that you can build up that traffic by your search engine optimization to then our persons use social media platforms to drive traffic as well. But the advertising is just one part. Once you have enough eyeballs, as we call it, people looking at your platform. The second thing then is find a way to infuse transactions and comments online, e-commerce activities into it. So that when persons come onto your website, the platform, they're able to purchase, pay for your product or your service, book it online, reserve it, and have an automated system. So I would say automation and having the wherewithal to serve your customers online is what's important. To monetize. Online.
Okay, nice. You mentioned that you were ahead of the curve before social media. Now, one question that always, pondered my mind. Did the emergence of social media now, did that have an effect on your business? Because, back then I can remember if something happened, the first place that we want to go, SKNVIBES, you want to see. But in reality today, you have Facebook pages, you have different media houses. So a lot of people will go to Facebook. So did social media have a negative effect on SKNVIBES?
I would say the impact has been negative and positive in ways. And with business over time, you have to find ways to be resilient and adapt. Nothing stays the same, whether in business or in short life, there are changes. And so while we had the first mover advantage on online, with the advent and introduction of social media as we see today, there has been other avenues for person to access new information. Right? What we've had to do is to change our model to remain resilient. You
Oh,
would have seen over time, for example, I would have done some rebranding. And even in my own business enterprise, I would have started another entity,
yes.
right? Which
Right.
now also focuses on content production, marketing, technology. These are the services that would bolster the entire enterprise. So SKN Vibes is one entity that
Right.
stands tall as a national source of information.
Mm.
But I also built another company, separate company,
Separate.
called
Okay.
Open Interactive,
Okay.
which is more about creative services and branding, etc. So part of the resilience of the journey is really about how do you adapt to the changing times. Because while social media takes up certain space,
Yes.
you have to also find additional services to bolster your business and be adaptable to the changing times.
Well, you answered my question that I had after that one. That was, what are some of the services that Open Interactive offers?
Oh, thanks. Well, relative to Open Interactive, we are a complete agency which provides media, marketing, technology,
Okay.
creative services,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
And the services will include video production, which forms part of content development, graphics design.
Yes.
But we started branding because branding is important.
No problems.
We use brand to develop our businesses and our clients because if you're to attract business, if you're in business
Yes.
and you want to attract more customers, you want to improve your revenue cash flow,
Mhm.
it is important that you look at your brand. And so we are, first, a brand agency. Once you get your brand tight and we can establish those core positions around your brand, then we're able to now add the content development. On top of that, your online services, digital asset management, which include the website and social media, and also copywriting. It's a suite of services that helps our clients
No.
to survive and thrive, especially now in this digital age with COVID, etc.
Okay, nice. And what are some of the benefits of having an online business? Some benefits, some of the advantages of having an online business versus a brick and mortar traditional business.
An online business opens your gateway, your doors to a whole new audience, right? Whereas traditional type businesses will depend on persons walking into your door.
Yes.
And there's only limited time space, 8 to 4 operations or whatever the time is. Being online enables your business to be functioning 24 hours, for example. It allows your products and services to be accessible to your target clients on an ongoing basis. And if it is that you're able to provide that service online where there's automation, you can purchase a product, a service, you can have support by way of speaking to someone,
Yes.
it really gives you the wherewithal to make money around the clock.
So,
Yeah? And so the advantage is really allowing your service and products to be accessible to your target clients on an ongoing basis, and which is very important today. And not just on an ongoing basis, but it also opens you up to different demographics because nothing stops you now from targeting clients beyond your shores.
True.
There are people in other markets, in other parts of the region, other parts of the world, who can actually benefit from the service. It gives you a chance, if you're based on the Syndicates, to benefit from a global economy by exporting your service and your products to other markets overseas. These are advantages that the online allows you that the traditional brick and mortar do it naturally.
Okay, nice. This brings us to a segment of our show. You know, when we're doing business plans, we do what we call a SWOT analysis, where we examine the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats.
Yes.
Now, from speaking to you so far, I've already picked up some of your strengths. You mentioned being resilient, being able to adapt, and these are very, very good qualities to have as a businessman. Now, what I would like for you to share with our audience is, what are some of your personal strengths and what are some areas that you think that you can improve upon? We don't want to call them weakness, but areas that you can improve upon. So we'll start with your personal strengths. What are some of your personal strengths?
My personal strength really comes from my can-do, never quit, don't fail attitude.
Nice.
Right? Because for me, going into business, failure was never an option. But, I draw on the strength of my own passion for what I do and the ability through my education and skills that I've honed over time to get the job done. And so with that, it creates a level of resilience in me and energy to keep moving and keep
going,
thriving despite the circumstances. And that is something that must be innate in every entrepreneur.
Yes.
That is something when I mentor people, when I speak to others, I try to encourage to make sure that fire is in their belly. Fire is there to continue to achieve and excel and adapt and look at new ideas and such approach to constantly reinvent yourself all the time. That's important. So it's a strength that I have.
Nice.
All of us have weaknesses.
Yes.
Right? All of us have weaknesses. And generally speaking, once you start off as an entrepreneur, you, in your own capacity, would not have the abilities to do everything that's required for a business.
True.
Where you're weak, it's important to have other team members that join you, provide those additional space, strength.
Nice,
right?
Nice.
And so if you have areas, for example, that you're not strong in maybe accounting, we hire good accountants. I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm not a legal practitioner. You would need to have legal support.
Yes.
And of course, if there's area like marketing, you need marketing support because these are all aspects of the business. But no one person, I believe, has all the requisite skills to really do it all. And that is why you have to look at growth in your business and unloading those things. So these are areas I believe that are
nice.
That can be, even people over time.
One thing I must commend you for personally, you are a key player in the community in terms of development, community projects. You're always giving back, to your businesses.
Always.
Tell the people some of the things that you have been involved in throughout the community over the years.
As a young boy, I was involved in the Scouts movement.
Yes.
Very early, and that was, I believe you were in the Scouts.
Yes, you were my Scout leader. You were my Scout leader.
Yes. Right? There we go. And so, yes. And so, you can recall back in the day in the Scouts, right?
Yeah.
We actually use our left hand, right?
Oh, yes, I remember. Yes, Scout shake, yes.
Scout NATO.
Yes.
Be prepared.
Yes.
It's something that we learned very early on.
Very early, that's true.
And so, true to that motto of be prepared, those early days helped me to be prepared for life.
Nice.
This is something that I recognize that is not so prevalent today, having these groups and so on.
Mm-hmm.
But
okay, nice.
And so I also was involved in the student group of Sandy Point.
Yes.
Later on in life as well, which would have been involved in really mobilizing the community, getting persons back out in activities that was meant to build the community spirit. Very important.
Yes.
And of course, the establishing of the festival as well, which brought our community together. I would have sponsored many activities in the community as well.
Pride Sports.
I was about to come to that. Pride Sports team, which was widely victorious during the Scabba.
Yes.
And so my involvement has been in sports community activities, and I continue to sponsor any activity that has to do with schools, athletics, the Sandy Point, primary school, the child's image, secondary school, by providing books, by providing scholarship, by providing anything that's needed to help our community to get.
Nice. Well, early in the introduction, I mentioned that, your name has been called a lot in recent weeks. So we have to address the elephant, not in the room, but on the beach. So I see that you have offered yourself up to represent the people of Sandy Point, Fig Tree, and La Valley. And I would like to first congratulate you because I know with all that you have done for the community, you're the perfect person to represent Sandy Pointers on a national level. Now, have you always wanted to get into politics?
Politics was something I never had any intentions to do. I have never had any intentions to enter a political race. But I've always had a passion for the development of our community. I've always had a passion for seeing Sandy Point and the Valiant Picture Forts thrive as a community.
Yes.
And when I recall what we had before and what we have now as a community, it encouraged me to do better. It encouraged me since I have the ability to step forward.
Okay.
And that's what brings me here.
Okay,
So there's a number of persons who I respect, respectable persons in the community, who have reached out to me and said, Stachio, we see what's happening here, the lack of representation in our community. And so we believe that we should come forward and, I represent the people because people are hurting, people are lacking representation. So I answer the cry. I answer the call. And so I'm here.
Thank you. Thank you for answering the call. Why did you join PLP and not one of the other parties? And why should people across St. Kitts and Nevis support the PLP?
I decided to join the PLP because when I see what's happening here in my community in Sandy Point, I recognize that the established parties, PAM, for example, would have let down the people. The representative have let down the people. And when I look at Labour, who would have a chance to represent Sandy Point as well, they've abandoned the people. And so it leaves a gap. PLP provides an opportunity, not just for our community and our people to try something new, but it's an opportunity to work in a party for the proven track record of delivery for the people.
What will your priorities be when you are elected? Yes. What will your priorities be?
My first priority is to return this great town of Sandy Point to the once bustling, vibrant economic hub that it once was.
Nice.
We're talking about implementing programs from as early as the primary school to develop our entrepreneurs, identifying those talents and skills, and helping them to convert that into business, right?
Nice.
Establishing spaces, a plaza, for example, that these businesses once established can operate.
Yes.
We want to be able to build into that economic plan, strengthen our farmers and our fishers because food security is very important.
Right, true.
And enabling them with certain technology and online tools as well to be able to export and sell their products outside of the community as well as in the community.
Nice.
We want to return also to the community options the person don't necessarily have to leave the community to transact business, so they can pay bills, critical government services like the Inland Revenue Department. Those type of things we want to introduce into the community. We, as a community, we feel whole again. That's one. I would want to look at programs that support the youth. Earlier I spoke about the early scout movement. These things.
Yes.
We want to establish these programs again of help our youth to have positive outlets to channel the energies and to develop the positive attitude towards life and community development. So programs for the youth, very important. Grassroots programs as well that support sports. We were once champions in this community in just about every sporting activity.
Yes.
I want to introduce grassroots programs and reintroduce the leagues here in Sandy Point as well, that the community can come out and support our sport. Because when they go forward, they are our ambassadors for the community. All this lifts the community pride.
Nice.
We'd also want to pursue, I would want to pursue a zero poverty agenda.
Huge.
When we look around the community, we see there's some persons struggling here and there, right? I would want to implement programs that would pursue that zero poverty agenda and improve the quality of life for people. And of course, housing. Housing is important.
Yes.
We'd want to improve the quality of housing within Sandy Point as well. So these are just a few of the areas, the priority areas that I will be focusing on when I'm elected.
Nice. How can we continue to keep our streets safe? Because that's a big issue, keeping the streets safe in terms of having low crime, so business can conduct, people can feel safe coming to Sandy Point to conduct business. So how can we continue to keep our streets safe?
We keep our streets safe, first of all. Again, like I said, by early intervention, right?
Nice.
We don't wait until there's a problem. We do have some challenges, right? And those challenges are being taken care of course. We see, for example, the peace program.
Yes.
How could we now add a phase 2 on top of that program to now convert persons and develop again their skills into businesses and so on and help them to transition? But also introducing early programs again from the primary school and high school level that helps persons to go into positive ways of developing. Like I said, the youth groups are important.
Yes.
Right? The scouts, the boys brigades, and other, I see the Explorers Club, for example.
Yes.
It's encouraging the community to have that new spirit that would encourage our people to deviate from a life of crime and really energize that spirit in us where we know we're the best. We have talents and intelligence and the pride and thrive here in the community.
Yes.
So I want to implement programs, like I said, to do specifically that.
Okay, nice. You mentioned the peace program. That's a program that's gotten a lot of positive feedback, also some negative feedback, but personally I think it is a real good program. For example, Rum Dog Beach Bar and Grill is a product of the peace program where the owner was able to receive financing and funding to establish his own business. So I can safely say, if it wasn't for the peace program, we would not have had this nice venue to conduct this interview. So adding on top of the peace program, hearing that you have plans to add phase two to add
phase
to the,
two.
yes.
We want to see more rum dogs.
Yes.
We want to see more success stories of persons who would have otherwise been fallen by the wayside.
Yes.
But are able to act upon and develop that entrepreneurial spirit inside them.
Nice.
That's fire in their belly.
Nice.
To really provide a life for them, for their families, for other persons who they can hire in the community. That's very important.
Nice.
So phase 2 would see more businesses, more persons converted over into positive development within the community.
Nice. Now, what would you say to a PAM voter who is thinking about voting for you? How do you convince them to vote for you? A PAM voter.
Yeah. So I've been on the campaign trail for a couple of weeks. And as I move around and speak to people, right, and listening to their concerns, one of their key concerns is that they're not seeing the representative, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're not getting the type of representation that they know they deserve. They look at the town, the great town that we once had, and they realize that much better can be done as far as the representation. They feel neglected. And so the representative is the one who's neglecting them, right? Because he's been for almost 18 years, right? And so I want to say to them that this is a chance for you to have a bit of fresh air, right? Real representation, because I have shown a track record where I can show up to do the job. I have the wherewithal to get the job done, you know? And so I'm also showing them where I care, because neglecting someone shows that you don't care.
Oh, true.
So I provide that care, I provide that level of support. And together, we can do this.
Nice.
Yeah?
Nice.
Together.
Nice.
And that is what I would say to them. To give the confidence that we can move forward together.
Okay, nice. Now, what would you say to a Labour voter who is considering giving you a chance and voting for you? How would you get them to join the careful train and leave the Labour Party?
Interestingly, while we see PAM has neglected the people, right? Labour has abandoned us as well.
Yeah.
And so, if you look at the trend over the years, there's no trend that shows that Labour will win or can win. Since I'm the time. Right? I will say, if your desire is to see improvement within the community, and I know it is because we all want to see the best for somebody, then you should come on board with this fresh approach that can deliver for you, right? Because sticking with a party that has been, like I said, abandoned, abandoning the people, and not seem to have the best interests of the people at heart, we need to look at how we move forward together, you know? So I'm saying to them, come on board. in this fresh movement that embraces all, right? That has the ability to deliver for the people.
Okay, nice. So we're coming to almost the end of the interview, and this has been a really good discussion, Stachio, I must say. I want to thank you again for taking time out to, come in with us, sharing with our audience your story. A lot of times we see businesses and business people and we only see the success, but we don't see the hard work that went into making that person or that business successful. Now, what is some advice that you would give young entrepreneurs, aspiring business people coming out of Sandy Point or from St. Kitts Nevis on a whole? What are some advice you would give them?
Thank you. Well, entrepreneurship, as you know, is a passion of mine. I've had some 20 years now as an experienced entrepreneur. And I'd want to definitely use this experience to encourage and support other budding, upcoming entrepreneurs. I would say if you have a business idea and you want to turn it into a real business, go for it. Don't wait, because good ideas don't last very long. Right? You should move on it. Now, having started that journey, it is very important that you don't quit. Don't ever give up. Don't ever quit. As difficult as the task ahead may seem, you just have to find ways to adapt and be resilient, right? And one of the things that you would need to do along the way is to ensure that you take care of your customers. It's very important. Maintain a positive attitude and take care of your customers. Take care of your team members, the staff, if you have staff as well.
Yes.
Because they would also help you to take care of your customers. And don't worry so much about trying to make this a lot of money. No. Focus on providing a quality service, a quality product, and then you would have repeat customers. These things working together will help you. And it would go to your core value of who you are. Nice. And people would respect that and continue to support you.
Nice.
I realize that right here in Sandy Point, for example, there are a lot of young businessmen who are coming up. They're trying to go the distance on their own. Rum Dog, for example, who've done a good job, but there's more that he wants to do. There are other persons in their own little way trying to do business. I want to be able to support them, and that's one of the reasons why I decided to establish a vision center as a first priority during this campaign.
Yes.
And the Vision Center, established on Mount Tidal, the purpose of it is to have persons in the community come in and see what the plans are, but specific to entrepreneurship, provide support for businesses.
Yes.
We're going to have an entity there, which should include yourself as well, doing business plans, encouraging persons to shape their ideas and support them with managerial support, as well as financial support by way of getting the capital that they need and so on. Because just like if you build a house, you want a plan.
Yes.
To build a business, you should have a plan.
Sure.
And so for
business
solutions, of course, we want to assist within that Vision Center persons to develop those plans, develop those ideas, and turn them into something that they can be proud of. They can feed their families, provide for their children, and develop an overall quality of life that here in the community would inure to the benefit of all involved. So these are the things that I tend to use my experiences for and encourage entrepreneurs. And these are the advice I would give to them to support their businesses.
Nice. I don't think that we could have ended on a better note. I would really like to highlight some of the things that Mr. Williams would have mentioned. The importance of service, respecting your team members, taking care of your customers. These are all valuable components of running a successful business. Mr. Williams, I would like to thank you again for coming. Coach. I would like to thank you again for taking your time out to come in to discuss with us.
Yes.
And I would like to encourage our audience to follow our social media pages, Carib Gems on Facebook, Carib_Gems on Instagram. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can continue to get all of our wonderful content. And thanks again for tuning in. See you next time on Carib Gems. Peace and love.
Peace and love.
At Pro Business Solutions, we help our clients through the process of preparing their business plans when seeking financing for their business ideas. We help you to analyze the market, prepare a SWOT analysis, identify business goals, and prepare financial projections. Our consultants are knowledgeable, patient, and confidential. For more information, contact us at 869-663-5005 or send us an email at probusinesssolutionskn@gmail.com to set up an appointment to discuss your business ideas. Pro Business Solutions, your business, our passion.